Welcome back to part 2 of our Support Together Fill Your Cuppa podcast with our S2 mummy, Susie.
I remember that moment where it sort of hit me, where it had been darkness for years, whenever I was mentally unwell, and it was a very, very dark place. And as I started to come through the charity and started working on me and going through counselling and all sorts of different bits that we're going through and working through, and that was all tough. But I do remember the moment I thought, do you know what? I can do this. And I felt like, you know what, excited for life. I hadn't felt excited. And in all the big moments, really, like since Mummy had died, you know, there was so much happened in that time. We got married, we built our own house, we had the 2 girls, the big life things. But I was just becoming more and more unwell. So to be able to sit there today and be excited for the future. We have a big family wedding happening this summer in Greece. I am so excited.
And you would never have thought that you could go to Greece.
No, I just
this time last year.
Who wants me there?
Yeah.
It's going to be harder to have me there. Nobody's going to want to look at me. It's going to be too difficult. I'm not going to be happy. No, you all go on without me. Would have been my response a year or 2 ago. Whereas now I'm like, I can't wait. We have
first in that plane.
100%. We are there with hats on and margaritas and having the best damn time. I cannot wait. But I'm so excited for the future.
You're making memories now.
Yeah.
Susie, as before you were just existing. And people say they just get on with it. Just get on with it serves nobody well. Sometimes, we just get on with it as in a sense of we're trying to get through stuff and we'll see where it goes. But if that's not working for you, you're going to get the same bloody result.
There has to be a stage where you have to turn and say, actually, this getting on with it isn't working.
No.
So what's my next step?
Yeah. And you want your soul to be ignited and the girls are watching you flourish. So by them saying that you feel you're worthy.
Yeah.
You're worthy of a good life. You're worthy of, celebrating wonderful moments, but also having some, life will bring you ups and downs. Yeah. It is a roller coaster. We can't run flat. Otherwise we're not living. It doesn't go, dude, we have to live. So you said back earlier on, it seems to be running in your family. So you have 2 girls.
Yes. So this most likely is going to be their future. And if we ever did think again of going for another child, it would be something that's going to, and it apparently gets worse as it goes on through more pregnancies.
Okay.
So if we ever did go down that road again, it's a battle that I would be facing, but I almost feel a wee bit like I want to take it on. I want to beat it. I want to be able to take it on with me now today and be able to throw everything I have at it and say, do you know what, bring it on.
You're empowered.
Yeah, definitely.
You've definitely found your voice, and that's something that you have done. And we often get some of our members and they haven't moved. They're stuck, and we do call it the pool of shit. The pool of S hit, because why we call that is once you enter that at the beginning, it's toxin, you don't like the smell, it's uncomfortable, you don't like how you're feeling, but after a while you feel, well, that's where I should be. I've got used to this. Sure, I'm warm, I'm cozy, it'll do rightly. But across the way is the steps. There is a choice. You do have a choice, but it's about putting that work in. You hold the answers. You held the answers to yourself. We didn't give you the answers and Support Together. We sat with you. And as Haley says one day, it's about sitting with you in the mud.
Yeah.
Coming beside you and going, okay, you're not alone.
I'm not going to stay here now, but I'm going to sit with you for a wee while and then get out
we
together.
Didn't, I had morning sickness, but I didn't have the hyperemesis. And so I wasn't going in and try and, or either was Gemma, either was Ciara going in to try and tell you how to feel. We sat with you.
You did.
And within your journey through Support Together, you had your one-to-one. There was a stage you could not have went to peer-to-peer.
No, I couldn't, no.
Or take the girls out.
No, for the first, as things got worse and worse, leaving the house with 2 small children, it just wasn't worth it. Somebody was always going to be sick. Somebody had to nap. Somebody had to be fed. I just locked myself away. Got to the stage I just did not leave the house. I remember Brian on a Sunday, have you left the house this week? God, no, I haven't. No. Do you want to leave the house? Not really, no. Sure, we'll just stay here.
Because by that stage you wouldn't. Why would you bother? Because you haven't been out, so you just become stuck in that pool of.
I hadn't, and he would have put me in the car, and at that time I couldn't even get out of the car. I used to sit in the car. Katie was a wee newborn, and feeding her maybe or helping her do whatever. And I used to sit in the car staring at Ava in the playground on the swing, and I just so desperately wanted to be over there, but I could not. I just shut myself away. I just didn't want anybody around me, didn't want to be near anybody, didn't want anybody to see me. And if I did have to go out and interact with anybody, I put on the mask.
Which is exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, putting on this mask is exhausting. Sometimes we have 10 masks on us because we're trying to, you know, guard ourselves. So that takes a lot out of you as well.
Definitely. I stopped going down home. It's a 100-mile trip for me to drive down home. I just stopped going down home. What's the point? Why wasn't you? By the time we get down home and back up again, I had built the wall so high around me. I didn't want anybody near me. Stay out of my house, go away from me, leave me alone, don't talk to me, don't speak to me. Just darkness.
Total isolation.
Just darkness. There was no way forward. There was no lust for life. There was nothing. I had everything I ever dreamt of. The perfect husband, the 2 beautiful babies, our home that we built. I had everything I ever wanted in my life. I just couldn't shake it. I just could not. I come so far with grief and everything I'd gone through in the pregnancies and lockdowns and doing everything on my own. I just could not see outside of them 4 walls.
Do you remember a turning point?
Probably the day I contacted yourselves, where it got so bad. It's got in my head was a really horrible place.
But you had a hit.
Yeah.
The shit show there. You had to hit the wall that hard to make you go,
yeah,
I need help.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, was bullying myself that I was the worst mother. I was a failure. You know, you can't go back to work. Who would want you at work? You're no good. In my head, I had myself bullied so far into the ground that I think there was an anger stage came with the grief with mummy.
Of course, yes.
And it was that year anniversary. She wasn't here. And like my mummy was my best friend. She was my everything. And I had anger. You're not here and I need you. And I hit that wall with a bang that day. And I just remember wee Katie crying and she knew there was something wrong with me. She knew, that child knew. And I just thought, if you don't stop this and you don't stop treating yourself like this, you're going to end up in a grave. You're going to end up where your mother is. And do you want them 2 wee girls to grow up without a mother? And I knew if I didn't stop it, that I was going to put myself into that grave. And I did not, I know how it feels to rear children without my mother. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So I knew at that stage, if you don't stop it, this is where you're going. That's the day I contacted yourselves and thought I have to do, I felt like I couldn't turn to the NHS. Through the pregnancies, I was, no, it's not that bad. You were just faffed off all the time. So in my head, I can't go to the health visitor. I can't go to the NHS. I can't go to, who can I go to? And I kept seeing yourselves coming up on social media. And then it was whenever then I thought, could they help me? And even at that, I was like, but there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm grand. I'm okay. It's just a bad day. It wasn't a bad day.
But that's because you said you bullied yourself. You did. You listened to the dark side. You didn't let any of that.
Took over.
And we are in a predicament now that we're waiting lists and we're not able to see mummies as quick because there's a demand on our service. We're coming to a stage of funding coming to an end. Imagine we weren't able to.
My word, I don't know where I would be today.
Jesus, I know, because it makes me sit and think of the mummies that has reached out to us. Ciara was that mummy. Gemma was that mummy that reached out to support together, and we were able to support them a little bit sooner. But times have changed. There's more demand on our service because of the Facebook, because the word's getting out there, because women are realising I don't deserve to be feeling like this. I shouldn't be ashamed. That illness, it is an illness.
It is.
It should not define me. I need help. And then when somebody comes to reach out for help and then they're told,
waiting list.
That does not sit well with me, Ciara and Gemma. We have to work hard on that because we would take everybody on. But what happens then? We're a watered down service.
Yeah.
So we can't go anywhere. You know, your mummies are telling us we're saving lives, we're impacting lives.
Absolutely.
Changing the future.
And we're changing the future. There's you even thinking of your two girls now. As there's a stage when your mummy died, you couldn't even think of your mummy.
Yeah.
But your mummy deserved to be thought about. You were saying that yesterday to us.
Yeah.
You know, that's where you feel you should have talked about her more. And you're doing that now.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping her memory alive.
And your girls know Granny.
Granny Betty.
Granny Betty. And she's a wee picture at the side of the girls' beds.
Oh,
She keeps an eye on them.
She keeps an eye on
Through
them.
all their good antics and their bad antics. She's there. She's there in her way. It's our future. And I remember saying to Gemma at the very start in Support Together with the grief, I was like, I just want to be at peace. I know 6 years down the line, she's not coming back, but I need to make peace in order to move forward. We can't live, as you say, the pool of shit, can't live in it.
No.
She's not coming back. I need to make peace with it. And I need to move forward with life without her. She's involved in which ways we can, but realistically, we are where we are and we carry her as we do. And she's mentioned every day in our house. And yeah.
So you're keeping her soul, her life alive within your home. And that is so important to you because that straight away ignites your soul because your mummy was an amazing woman. And from conversations and your granny, I mean, you've had amazing females in your life and not to talk about that and not to celebrate them.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's just like there's you trying to grow wonderful flowers in your greenhouse, and if you weren't nurturing them and providing your flowers to become, they won't grow.
Like our lavender.
Like our lavender, R.I.P. lavender. Our lavender didn't do well at work, but I have to look at
The rest of them
are doing really well.
Just that.
So they are.
Really well. So you are celebrating your mummy through your girls, that they will know Granny Betty.
Yep. Keeps her memory alive, and it's how things are, but I am at peace with that now. I definitely am. You know, it's been a lot to work through, and grief and motherhood is something that's not talked about.
No, and because, to be honest, you did say earlier on there, Susie, you become angry. Where are you? Why are you not here when I need you most? You know, and you can get that.
Yeah.
You know, and grief and motherhood, that's where that's real stuff. And that must hurt in places you never would have thought. And what you want to do is try to bury it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier until it isn't. You come through all
until it comes on top of you and you can't breathe no more, or you cannot survive. You're just existing. Nobody should just exist. We should thrive.
Yeah.
And within Support Together, you did receive counselling through our counsellor and house counsellor. So there is we are very in a lovely position that we have people who want to help the charity and who come in and offer their services. And because me and Ciara both were counselled, I guess it's not a secret. We've never kept that a secret. And we share that with your mum, the mummies, there's two mums. And you'd said something yesterday as well when we were having a wee conversation that you were given a Support Together jumper. And when you wear that jumper, you'd said yesterday you wear it with
pride. Pride that I am part of the charity. I am one of the mummies, that I have been helped. My life has totally changed because of all of you women. And I am so proud to be associated, and I wear it with pride. And yet again, same as how I found out about the charity was through other people. And if I wear it out and about and somebody sees it and goes, who's that? And I'm always shouting about the charity, and I'm telling everybody, anybody that listen or won't even listen, support together. These women are amazing. And what you offer for local women, I have never seen anywhere else ever before. And it is unbelievable. The services, the charity, how it's just a charity is beyond me, because the services are, was never offered anything in the NHS like this. the door was closed.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't make an appointment. You couldn't speak to anybody. If you brought up mental health, people almost got terrified. I've seen midwives backing down.
You said that right now, Susie, that you felt people didn't know how to.
I freaked out when I was I always treaded water when I talked about my mental health with anybody in the NHS, and because straight away they just totally freak. And there was midwives and booking in appointments, and how are you feeling? Well, I've got hyperemesis and I've been admitted twice to hospital. I'm on a very heavy medication. I'm on, medication that's used for cancer patients, and I have a small, tiny little 10-week-old baby here in my tummy that I am terrified. And how do you feel? And you were honest. Oh, do you need help? Oh, no, it's okay, it's fine, it's grand. No, don't be worrying about it. You're busy enough as you are. Just leave it. Next time they ask, questionnaire comes out, lie.
Yeah.
And I lied, and I lied, and I lied. How are you feeling? Okay, I'm grand, it's okay. Never told the truth until it got beyond.
Isn't there really a two-way thing maybe there? That when you were about to open up, you could see the fear, and you went back in, but also the likes of the systems maybe letting down the colleagues of it. The midwives felt more empowered if they felt more educated on that topic, or there was more specialised care, that they would go, right, okay, let me sit with you.
Yeah.
Let me hear how you are.
Yeah, they might know the answers, but
don't have
you
to know
just
the
feel
answers.
held and heard on that day. They can, like we would have done. Okay, talk to me, explain to me, and then whenever the mummy would have left, you just said, right, okay, well, I need to find out more about that there, or who could help me with that there, or where can I get more information?
It's not about fix it, it's about trying to empower ourselves with knowledge.
Let me understand it so I can help the mummy understand it.
To be understood.
It's crazy. It's, I don't know, there's no words for it.
No, and that's, you talking about this, there's going to be somebody listening, and that's why we're doing podcasts, because we're not able to help as many mummies as we'd like. And that, as I have to keep saying it doesn't sit well, is we've had to do a lot of work on this. We've had to get help for us to be able to not allow ourselves to create boundaries, to ensure that we don't burn out, because we've lived experience. So we have and compassion fatigue. Oh, blah. We often can feel that, and it's like reining ourselves in, because we can't be there for everybody. This isn't just Support Together's business. This is everybody's. To bring knowledge into our community will help bring change. It will help stamp out stigma, shame, and guilt.
Yeah.
Guilt is a killer.
Yeah.
There's definitely is. So the podcast, that's why it was so important. And I thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming in and sharing and gifting your story to Support Together, because that will help another mummy who's listening. And that's a resource that we can signpost somebody to, or somebody who listens to our podcast can signpost their friend to.
Yeah.
But when you were going through what you were going through, what did help you? Susie, I remember people like saying silly things like,
Ginger nut.
Just take a lot of bags of ginger nut. Take this, like that's nearly, you'd love to give somebody a Belfast kiss. What?
Well, everything in Ava's pregnancy that became my safe foods, it was 7-Up, Pear-Pick and Porkies, anything that you could eat that was easy to digest or throw up. They very quickly in Katie's pregnancy were gone. So what got me through reaching into family and getting support, my mother and father-in-law during Katie's pregnancy were amazing. I have always struggled to ask for help. Always. I can do it myself. I'm an independent woman. I can do it myself. I couldn't. And they knew that. And they used to just show up at the house, and I had a small baby to look after. And they used to just lift Ava.
This is Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health. Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health is a private pregnancy, ultrasound and complementary therapy facility. Their mission is to provide a more holistic approach during your pregnancy. Visit clarityoma.com.
Go and get into bed. Go and sleep.
So that and helping.
Taking that help. They were amazing. There was days where I couldn't even stand up to feed the child. I couldn't bath her. I couldn't change her clothes. I couldn't even change my own clothes, never mind another child. But they reached in and they helped. So the support of family. Rest. If you can rest yourself in hyperemesis, that is the one thing. And even sometimes lying down in a bed, it just was the hardest thing in the world to do. And it's a mind battle. Like, I battled in my mind so much. I'm not going to be sick today. I'm not going to vomit. I'm not going to throw up. Bearing in mind that it was probably the guts of maybe 15 to 20 times a day that I was throwing up.
And then when you're throwing up, like, I know when I throw up, like, I need to be well padded down below. Like,
oh, yes, it is.
Do you get what I mean? Like, and that's an honest conversation here.
Yeah.
And then your dignity.
Yeah.
Nobody throws up romantically.
Yeah.
No.
So I lived on the bathroom floor.
So
I was maybe trying to feed a child in the middle of the night. I need to vomit. How do you hold in vomit when you're feeding a baby?
How do you?
I
How did you?
over the child, and I don't know how many. And there's times where Brian was at work or I was on my own. And how did I get through it? I don't know. A lot of it is a blur. A lot of it. I just wish I had reached out and had a voice to go forward to any medical staff and just say, please help me. I feel this, this, and this. And I know now, if I ever was or knew another woman that was being sick, you get to the hospital, get to a doctor, get your cyclizine. If that's not working, go back again. I just always felt like, and I remember going into the hospital the first time and in the middle of COVID, and I said to them, I had COVID. I don't want to infect you. And they were like, don't you be worrying about that. Is that why you've held up? I waited until like I was day 10 so that at least I could come in here and I didn't have it anymore. And I've tested before I left the house. And what are you doing that for? Come in to us. Don't ever be, I was blocking them off as much as, I was doing damage to
thinking
myself.
about everybody else and not thinking about yourself.
But go and get your help. Go and get your medication. I had to go through 3 different types of medication. I was altering 2 at that time, right the way through in labour. In Katie's labour, I remember the doctor said, I still to this day remember my times of the day and night that I had to take my medication. And if I missed that medication by 15, 20 minutes, throwing up again.
So the times is very important.
Stick to me. Yeah. 11, 3, 7, 11, 3,
7.
To this day, still.
And there was one person that you were able, it was Brian because Brian watched you.
He did.
So he wanted to try and get help. And it was a lady that you did reach out to.
The one person in Brian found her, he was researching, trying to do anything to support me, to help me, to push me. And I was closing the door in his face every time. No, I'm okay, I'm fine. And he had found Ida. And please go, she's only up the road, go and visit her. Getting in the car and driving, I'm going to be sick on the way there. I need to, have something in the car to be sick into, and I don't want to leave the house. I couldn't sit up straight. Got in the car and I went to Ida, and oh my word, that woman, from the second I met, she's just warm. Come in. How are you? Sat down with her. I'm a midwife, but I also do this, and this. And she did a baby massage, and oh my word, for the first time in a long time, I relaxed. And then she started talking to me. I had hyperemesis 3-4 times, and I just burst into tears. I hadn't met another woman that had come through it.
You too.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling.
Oh my God.
You too.
You understand.
Yeah.
And I remember her telling me stories about her pregnancies and how did you get through it. And I went back to Ida, I think it was either weekly or every 2 weeks, right to the end. And even just her emotional support. Although never mind, she did acupuncture, and I'm terrified of needles.
You've said that, that's right, yeah.
Just don't show the needles to me, just stick them in wherever. Her support and her guidance, everything that she taught me was it was the only pillar of support I had outside of family to get me through. And she guided me right the way to the end. She did every step of the way, and she was amazing. And I still shout about her now. I tell everybody, you go to Ida. Anybody, any woman, go to Ida. She will be able to help you in her treatments that she does and her guidance. She is a wealth of knowledge.
She has the lived experience of it. So she, straight away, you've made that connection.
She met you with empathy, not pity.
No.
And she didn't coil away and think, I don't know what to do, but they're just, we'll ignore that wee bit. There was no fear in her eyes whenever you mentioned that you had it.
She was open, honest from the get-go. And that was just, to me, And that has, it is linked through the charity. And it was bits of what Ada was putting up, bits of what other girls were putting up, and everything was falling into this support together circle of me going, who are these women? What are they doing? And reading more and more and going, my word.
They look like Egypts then, women.
We're going to see them.
Sure, wouldn't mind to see what the crack is and behind that door of flowers. Now, there's a wee tip I think I've picked up from you. I'm chatting to you yesterday, and I've put the link in that you were kind of unwell at the weekend, but we'll not go into full detail about that now. It was kind of self-inflicted.
Absolutely.
But you did say that nappy bags are great to puke into.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking to myself, how did she know that? But did you use nappy bags when you were unwell?
Everywhere I went.
So there's a wee tip.
Yeah. There's no holes in the bottom of them.
No, she'd said that yesterday. And I'm sitting here today now listening to Susie even more. That's who lived experience. Susie knew to take out.
I'm thinking that now. I got that shit away when she said
I didn't.
There's no holes.
I was like, I did think to myself,
no, but actually she knew there was no holes in it.
There's no holes in it because she poked into many one.
Yeah.
Because
I
of
carried them.
you being so unwell when you were pregnant.
Even in work at the time, thankfully, our toilets, when you went in during COVID, when I was in work pregnant, you had to lock the door, one in, one out. Best thing ever. The amount of hours I spent in them toilets and work being sick. Even the first time I went back to work after the pregnancies and I walked in and I seen that toilet cubicle and I went, oh, jeez.
I could understand that. It's a stressor straight away. Yeah.
It definitely was. But we were allowed to lock the door and I was like, thank God that nobody can hear me being sick.
Because there's you thinking of other people again. People hear me and nobody. And not frig. They know to walk away. They're not being sick. You're not being sick because you
might
had.
get a bit of sympathy when you go back out again. Are you sick?
Oh my word! Like you had a lot of that, and it's about showing how you're feeling, and seeking, and we will learn so much from you, Susie, and you don't realize that it's a gift to us also, and that will able for us to help other mummies out there, all going well, that we're still here. Yeah. And there's a charity.
I was going to ask you how you fill your cup up, but you answered it yourself halfway through it with your bacon and your greenhouse and
the girls. Our future, planning little days away, maybe the beach. Or
making memories.
And filling. Like I stood and watched my own mother fight through cancer 3 times. So to see somebody not able to live their life, that's what drove me mad in the end, because I knew I needed to live life to the full. And when you're sitting there in a dark place and you can't make every moment of life and you're counting all your blessings, but you can't enjoy them, is not a nice place to be. So I always have, looked back at my mother, and even to her deathbed, she used to always say, life's good. And I remember saying, Mummy, your day's away from dying. She said, life's good.
Life is good when you're living it.
Yeah.
Not just existing. We need to live our life.
You can't just exist.
No. And that's what you're doing. You're living your life, Susie.
Definitely.
You see a future now. You're enjoying the girls. You're like Susie would not have went out even till our get-togethers.
Took me a long time.
I think our place was the first place you brought the girls into when they were wee toots.
9 months old. It was the first time I left the house.
Well, bringing the two of them over.
And got out of the car.
And you done that.
It took me a lot of panicking and worrying and, but what am I going to do? And Ava's going to run off and what happens then? And I had built it up in my head, but I knew how to do it. I knew how to move forward. It was no way for them to live, for us to live. And I knew I had to move it. It took 9 months.
It did. And then Gemma might have an odd time walked you to the car or an off time met you. And that's like, some people take it so for granted, just hopping on a car and away they go. But for mummies who are living with even severe anxiety and depression after having a baby, that's a massive challenge to get in that car and think, because you feel you're going to lose control of it. What I mean is the situation, the baby, if she cries, what happens? That's how I remember I was. I magnified everything that had just consumed me, and it actually brought me to my knees. So you've done, I sit in here and I think you are an absolute inspiration And to sit here and share that story,
Yeah.
it's not easy, Susie. We've been there ourselves, and you willingly, and your husband today encouraged you. Your friends who've encouraged you, and he's ensured he came home to mind the girls because you're off today, and put plans in place because your story is so important.
You are very important.
You are an amazing woman. And that's what you are first and foremost before you were a mummy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're Susie. You're shit hot Susie.
Well, we'll not go that far.
Yes, you are. And you have to make us a lock of buns or something.
Aye.
I have to get a lock of buns, must I? Aye, we go scones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Scones.
I remember coming into the office one of your first days. You had a navy coat with like
Oh, so I smelled
daisies,
beautiful.
wee flowers, and you smelled
Smelled.
amazing.
We were going,
perfumes.
where'd you get that perfume? It's beautiful.
It's because in the pregnancies, I couldn't tolerate smells.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even my own smell, like my own breath, was enough to make me be sick. So now that I can spray a perfume and I don't feel like how I did, I'm spraying everything, lighting candles, spraying perfume.
Oh, but you're so right. I remember what we were all going. You came round the corner and you were hanging your coat up and we were welcoming you in and you want a wee cuppa. And then we go, oh my God, you smell beautiful. And we greeted you as Susie.
You did. Yeah.
We seen you, Susie, not the mummy.
Yeah.
You know, it was Susie because it's important. And Susie was an S with an S because we have a few Susies in the house.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Susie with an S. So fill your cuppa. So we heard how am I filling my cuppa?
She's asked herself the question there.
I know. I don't know if I'm really been great at it this week. I might as well be honest. I've let my assignment slip. Was really going to back out of uni. But yesterday I did put the head down. I actually
You had to corner her off in the office.
corner me off in the office.
String around her that nobody could
I'd be like, I'd be distracted by anything. I was well messing that corner and I'm going
Anything but what you should be doing.
And then Ciara go, just you get back in there, and I'd be screen up and everything. And I do, when I went home last night, I did get a good bit of that assignment done. I think back to feeling inadequate. Maybe I'm not good enough to do the course. Maybe I'm doing it every day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm doing the practical stuff every day of the week. So it's about championing me on. You are worthy, Una, and reminding myself of that.
Yeah.
You're worthy. So it is often, I mightn't be filling it
to the brim,
but it's about when I'm finding myself slipping and starting to be hard on myself. And that's when I was chatting to somebody the other day and they could never see solutions. They can't see solutions. It's always problems. And that's your state of mind. And when I started thinking of a problem, I straight away goes, okay, Una, you're going down a dangerous road, right? Look at a solution here. Solution is you need a ring fence time. Solution is don't be so hard on yourself. You're running a project. You have a family. And we've been trying to put in funding. And that is that talking to yourself gently, not being hard.
Yeah.
Enough's enough. We shouldn't be hard on ourselves because that's then what we're passing on to the next generation and solutions. So that's probably what's filling me at the minute when I think of that now, when I'm just talking about
that's very good though.
Solutions.
But you've always been a solution person.
I don't know if I always have been. I think sometimes I faked it.
Aye.
Do you know, I've hooked on it to the best I can. Let's look at a solution. Or sometimes in the house when shit's hitting the fan. I'm fond about the shit today. But sure, that's just all right. When the S hit the fan at the house, I used to go, right, let's look at solutions, not problems. Because sometimes that was just a diversion.
To get them away from it.
Survive, let me survive here. So, but no, that's just as I was talking about we use. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. What about you, Mrs. O?
My cup is quite full at the moment. I'm just continuing doing what I know keeps me well. Going to the gym. Lovely wee naps when I can.
But you have been feeling, we've discovered Ciara's very tired at the minute and she's fighting a big infection.
I've had a dose since the start of February.
That's why she's sounding a little bit different on the mic.
I know.
And often you hear wee snots going
I know.
and her grabbing in the air, trying to get a breath.
Trying to breathe.
Uh-huh.
So I'm very aware of where I am, and I'm trying to be gentle on myself.
Yeah, and Gemma really we were chatting the other day in the office, and Ciara was saying she was off last week and she went for a 3-hour nanny nap after we were working on Saturday, and we were joking. I said, "You were off all week." And she says, "No, but I don't know what's going on with me." And then Gemma says, "You know, you're fighting an infection, Ciara. That's a heavy weight that you're carrying, and it's going to take a lot out of you." And that really was a big... So Ciara rang her doctor again yesterday and
got sorted out. So
it's just knowing that you're worthy and knowing that you're not well. So
I've been putting off that conversation, thinking it might get better. Give it another week. It'll be all right. Sure, it'll go away. And actually now I'm 3 weeks going into 4 weeks with no taste or smell.
Oh no, you can't.
No taste or smell. No. So he says when she gets her taste or smell, we're going out for a big dirty feed.
I know. I was scared.
Big dirty feed.
And you could be smelling a big with me and nobody.
I was like, "Where did
Please tell me." Oh my God. When you're handing stuff to my husband and he's not there, is that all right? And he was like, seriously, here.
Yeah, we had bacon yesterday. I love my old bacon. So we would put say deep fat fryer at work. We don't. We have an air fryer. And I says, "I'll buy some bacon." And I was so conscious of the smell in the office after. It was beautiful with bacon buddies. Gorgeous. She could smell nothing. I even got smoky bacon. You know how it can be real. Smells nothing.
So I'm still eating it. I still need to eat, but you're tasting nothing.
And then you're not satisfied. Yeah. So she, at the minute, Ciara knows that
I'm looking forward.
She's not in full throttle like the way.
Come back and I will go for a big dirty feed.
Yeah, big dirty feed. What are you smelling, Ciara?
I smell some cheesy jokes.
Cheese. Here, you can smell the cheese. Right, embrace yourself, Susie.
I've got some real good ones.
It's not often I don't laugh much at these now.
I never get jokes.
I don't book and get hangers. And Caitlin's like me. Some jokes she doesn't.
What do you call 2 ducks and a cow?
Duck cow.
Quackers and milk.
Wow. I don't get it.
No.
I never get jokes.
Quackers. Oh, no, come on.
Gemma gets them all. Yeah. Her and Gemma have jokes all the time.
Which vegetable do sailors hate the most?
Sailors. Which vegetable do sailors hate the most? Don't know.
Leeks.
Well, I get that.
Get that one.
Yeah, right. Knock, knock.
Who is there?
A little old lady.
A little old lady who?
I had no idea you could yodel.
Little old lady who?
Parallel lines have so much in common. It's just a shame they'll never meet.
Oh no.
Ah, Ciara.
It's a bad. Can't believe somebody broke into my garage and stole my limbo stick. Like, how low can you go?
How low can you go?
I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not so sure.
Sounds like me.
What's weirder than seeing a catfish?
A fish cat.
Watching a goldfish bowl. That would be hard to see.
Oh
my God, you are a hard audience today.
I hope somebody else is laughing.
I hope these are all laughing at this year.
Honestly, I think we should
probably laughing at us.
We should cut this out of the whole fill your cuppa, the cheesy jokes.
No. We love them.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Susie. You are an inspiration. You are an absolute dote. I am so proud of the journey you've come on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in here and speaking, because you don't understand the amount of mummies that you're going to help.
Hopefully.
It's been amazing. Download it, upload it. Whatever tickles your fancy. And we'll see you next week for, it might be our last one.
It actually
for
is.
Season 2.
For Season 2, yeah.
We're going to take a wee break in the summertime.
And we're very grateful.
Fingers crossed, everything crossed for funding.
Yeah.
There might be one spin-off.
Might do a live.
Might be a big live.
There's a man planting seeds this past lot of months.
I'm all for it. I think it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think fun. Yeah,
she's all for it.
Can we have Prosecco?
No.
Maybe after it. After it.
Prosecco.
Yeah, Prosecco, and then you need nappy bags.
Yeah.
We'll have it afterwards.
We can't behave ourselves.
Yes.
Well, honestly,
watch this space.
Thank you so much, Susie. We're so privileged to have you a part of the S2 team.
Oh, I love being part of Support Together. You women have picked me up, and as you always say, women supporting women. And yeah, definitely. It has been an absolute privilege, and thank you all very, very much for looking after me and making me love life again.
Oh, thank
you're
you.
just a pure dote. That's what you are.
I know. See you later.
Okay, mind's self, folks. Bye.
This was Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast with me, Mrs. O, Ciara O'Gowan, my co-hosts Una Leonard and Gemma Casty. Brought to you today by Clarity Scanning and Holistic Health and produced by 9874 Creative.